left hand blade. Lock his right arm down before you disarm him. When your opponent attempts to strike the side of your hand with a knife in his right hand, block his right arm with your left hand blade. Grab your opponent's right wrist with your right hand and his right elbow with your left hand. Step in and break his balance by swinging your arms down. Finally, take the knife by stretching and locking his arm. For Urawaza, first step in to strike your opponent's face with your right hand blade and block his right arm with your left hand. Next, take him down by swinging your arms down after you grab his right inner wrist with your right hand and his right elbow with your left hand. Stretch his right arm to take the knife. When your opponent thrusts at you with a knife in his right hand, first ilimi, and then pivot to your right as you grab your opponent's right wrist with your left hand and bring it to your shoulder. As you shift to the right, apply your right hand as well to break his balance. Twist your body from the hip to the left as you apply pressure to his right elbow with your left arm. Lock his elbow and take the knife. When your opponent thrusts at you with a knife in his right hand, ilimi to his right side as you would in ski kotegaishi. Do your sabaki by first pivoting to your opponent's rear, and then throw him by turning his right wrist out and twisting his body. Finally, take his knife. When your opponent attempts to strike the side of your head with a knife in his right hand, form hand blades and swing them down at him as you pivot. Next, grab his right wrist using both hands and step in as you swing them upwards. Rotate, cut your hand blades down, and take away the knife. Next, we will demonstrate tachidori. When your opponent strikes at you with a sword, ilimi to his right side and control his right arm with your left hand blade. Pivot right to your opponent's rear and break his balance by grabbing the back of his right hand along with the sword with your right hand and pivot further. Step back with your left foot, pivot again, and throw. Pin your opponent after turning him over.
この技では太刀を意識せず、相手との間合いを十分考え、しっかりと入り身します。都市と同様の足さばきにより、相手を投げるよう心がけます。
When your opponent attempts to strike you with the sword, do an atemi with your right hand as you urimi. Pivot and control the sword by grabbing the handle with your right hand blade. Step in with your right foot using your opponent's body movement as a cue. Cut your right hand blade down and hold on to the sword in order to throw your opponent. Finally, we will demonstrate a few jodori techniques. When your opponent attempts to strike you, urimi to his left and control the staff by grasping it with your left hand. Lower the staff as much as possible as you push your opponent down by sweeping his face from below the chin with your right arm.
This この技では、年より間合いが広くなります。したがって、しっかりと入身をし、側面に素早く入ることが重要となります。
When your opponent attempts to strike you with the staff, immediately urimi to his left side. With your left hand, grab one end of the staff, and with your right hand, grab the staff between your opponent's hands. Step out with your right leg as you lower the tip of the staff, and then throw your opponent by thrusting the other end towards him and then down. When your opponent attempts to strike you with a staff, urimi to his left side and grab one end of the staff with your left hand, and grab the staff in between his hands with your right hand. Take a big step forward and raise your arms. Rotate forward and then bring your arms down to throw your opponent and disarm him. This concludes our demonstration of Ninnin-gake and Bukiwaza variations. Your defense should be the same regardless of the number of your opponents. You should advance into Bukiwaza only after you have completely mastered the empty-handed techniques. Without a firm grasp of the empty-handed techniques, you are likely to be overwhelmed by a weapon. It will require serious training in order to learn the innermost secrets of these techniques, and you do not deserve to reach that point until you have gained the essence of the techniques. These are the teachings of Aikido founder Master Moriteru Ueshiba. When your opponent grabs both of your wrists, take a big step forward with your right foot and grasp the ulna of his right hand. Move under your opponent's right shoulder as you draw an arc toward your left rear with your left hand. Throw your opponent to your left in a twisting motion at the moment you feel his weight on your hips.
この技では担ぐのではなく、膝を緩め、足のバネを十分に生かすことを心がけてください。
For Koshinage, there are many variations such as the following. When your opponent grabs your wrist, step in with your right foot and rotate to position your left foot between your opponent's legs. Grab the ulna of his left hand with your right hand and draw a big arc. Lift your opponent by simultaneously dropping your hips and pushing your left shoulder forward. Finally, by twisting your hips and standing up, throw your opponent. When your opponent grabs your right forearm with both of his hands, use his body movement as a leverage. Step in with your right foot, raise your right hand blade, and then cut it down in an arc to throw your opponent.
「この技では脇を締め、腰の回転を生かしながら手刀を振りかぶり、螺旋状に切り下ろすことが大切です。
When your opponent grabs your right forearm with both of his hands, first pivot to your left while you raise your right hand blade. As you twist your body to the right, grab his right wrist from the back and grab the ulna of his left hand with your left hand. Next, lock your opponent's elbow joint in a cross and throw him as you step forward with your left foot.
「この技では片方の手を上からもう一方を下からつかみ、相手の肘を決めながら投げることを心がけてください。」
When your opponent grabs your shoulders, strike him with an atemi and do an orimi to his right side. Sweep up his knees with your hands and throw him to your rear.
この技では相手を持ち上げるのではなく、払い上げるようにして投げることが大切です。
When two opponents approach you from your sides and grab your wrist using both hands, respond by pivoting to your left and grab both of their right forearms from the inside. Raise your arms as you step forward with your left foot and pivot to your right. Then throw your opponents by cutting your arms down as you would a sword.
二人掛けの場合も、相手が一人の時と同じ心構えが大切です。相手が二人であることを意識せず、楽な気持ちで臨んでください。
When your opponent strikes at your face with a knife in his right hand, step in with your left foot and thrust his right elbow upward with your hand blades. Next, grab your opponent's right elbow with your left hand and his right wrist with your right hand. Step forward as you stretch your opponent's right arm by thrusting your arm forward. To disarm him, bend his right arm so that the back of his hand is beneath his elbow, and then push him down.
担当取りの場合、相手との間合いを考え、担当を意識せず、都市と同じような気持ちで臨むことが大切です。
When your opponent strikes at you with a sword, erlimi to his right side and control his right arm with your left hand blade. Pivot right to your opponent's rear and break his balance by grabbing the back of his right hand along with the sword with your right hand and pivot further. Step back with your left foot, pivot again, and throw. Pin your opponent after turning him over.
この技では太刀を意識せず、相手との間合いを十分考え、しっかりと入り身します。徒手と同様の足さばきにより、相手を投げるよう心がけます。
When your opponent attempts to strike you, alimi to his left and control the staff by grasping it with your left hand. Lower the staff as much as possible as you push your opponent down by sweeping his face from below the chin with your right arm.
この技では、徒手より間合いが広くなります。したがって、しっかりと入り身をし、側面に素早く入ることが重要となります。